just try and say a few words on how important I really do think what is happening here today, and this being a part of a lot of what's happening around New Hampshire and what is happening around the country is. It is typical for people to say any given election is the most important election in a long, long time. But I think everybody here understands that the 2010 election really is the most important election in a long, long time. And we need to do everything to make sure that we accept the responsibility we have for being successful in 2010. Now, I know it is not completely politically correct to talk in terms of gender roles in the modern world. But I can't help but note that as I look out on this audience, there is a clarity of gender distinction. And so let me talk in the context of what I think this meeting is. It is the Women's Summit in New Hampshire. Let me put into context, in a couple of ways, the power of women in the state of New Hampshire. First of all, we have here today the lady who was the first female Speaker of the House in New Hampshire, Donna Sitek, a dear friend. A great Republican and someone who understands what is happening to New Hampshire. And if any of you would like to get the inside scoop, spend some time talking to Donna. There's a lady who is not here today, who I think typifies the importance of women to the state and to the Republican Party. And it's a dear friend who passed away, former Senator Vesta Roy, who was the first female Senate president in the state of New Hampshire, and the first female acting governor in the history of the state. She actually served between my election and my inauguration. At the time, we were all residents of Salem, New Hampshire. We won't go into geographical power at this particular time. But the second thing I want to point out to you is the power of women in politics, is how I got involved in coming out of retirement to be state chairman in New Hampshire. I was sitting in my office in November of 2008, and all of a sudden, three of my sons, my daughter, and my wife came in and kind of, some of you have heard me tell the story before, kind of shut the door, and I thought they were going to pull the shades down and turn the phone off. It was like an intervention. And they start telling me that things are so bad in the state, I have to go back to be state chairman to try and bring a little bit of order to the political process. And I said, no, I'm too old, I'm too lazy, I'm too tired, and I started giving all these reasons. And then, ladies, you know how to do it. I looked over to my wife and I got that look that you ladies put on. And I said, yes, dear. And so I accepted the responsibility. These are crucial times. The Democrats are ruining the state of New Hampshire. It's the simplest way to put it. The Democrats are ruining the state of New Hampshire. We need your energy. We need your focus. We need your involvement as candidates. We need your understanding of the issues and your capacity to communicate those issues to your friends and family and neighbors. There is nothing more powerful than a friend talking to a friend, than a family member talking to a family member and explaining what's happening in New Hampshire. We used to have a great business climate, and that brought jobs into the state and allowed our young people to stay here. The anti-job agenda, they don't have it explicitly stated that way, but their tax policies and their regulation policies make it an anti-job agenda of the Democrats in New Hampshire, are forcing our young people to leave. Each of the last 3 years, for the first time in almost half a century, more people have moved out of New Hampshire than moved in. There are kids and our grandkids leaving because they can't find good jobs here, because the Democrats have imposed an income tax on small businesses and chased small business out. They have imposed either 80 new or increased 80 taxes in the state of New Hampshire in the last 3 sessions. That kills jobs. That hurts our children and our grandchildren. Frankly, it is changing the state. We used to be one of the top states in terms of business climate. We are now well below 38, between 38th and 43rd, depending on how you get rated. Pew Foundation says we have the worst quality of services of any of the states in the country. All this change in the last half dozen years under John Lynch and the radical Democrats. So I am thrilled you are here. We need you. You have the responsibility, as we do, to be part of the solution. So Phyllis, thank you for helping organize this. Jan, thank you for coming. Donna, thank you for your wisdom. And all of you ladies that are here, please, please be a part of the solution. If you're willing, we want you to run. There's no place in the world you can have more fun in politics than in New Hampshire. I promise it. I absolutely promise it. You will come and thank me after you're elected and served a while that it is the best thing you've ever done. There's nothing more gratifying than making change that counts for you, your family, your kids, and your grandkids. So if you can, please run. If you can't choose to run, then please choose to work on somebody's campaign. It is the second most fun in the world to work on a campaign in New Hampshire. And third, if you can't find the time to work on a campaign, please talk. As I look around here, I see a great talent for talking. Talk, 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 talk. It's the most powerful political tool in the world. Learn the issues, explain to people why we are changing, what is happening so dramatically here. That's the third most fun in the world, is talking about politics in the state of New Hampshire. You're great to come. It's a great event. I'll get the scorecard on how many of you decided to run, how many of you committed to campaigns, but I know one scorecard already. I see in the talent that is here, you will all talk, talk, talk. Thank you very, very much.
So ladies, please help yourselves.